Imagine that I've just done this step. I've packed it all with the aluminum foil. I've taped it all up. This is a stand that I made just using a dowel and a piece of board. And then once I have it assembled, I just put it into position. You want it to have a nice pose. You don't want it to be like a soldier, okay? So you want to give it... Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's my background music. So all you do is you decide what pose you want it to be in, and you just bend the body to the shape that you want it to be in. Which is why I like having the masking tape on there, because when you start to bend it, you interfere with the wire underneath, and this kind of holds it together a little bit more. Okay, so there is your elegant lady, completely undressed. Now to dress her. This is the fun part. This is also the messy part, so I'm going to put on gloves. Only because I'm going to switch several different colors so I can show you all the different colors that we can use. Normally I just stick to bronze. I think there are two that are completely bronze, and it's really easy. But because I'm going to switch, I'm going to put the gloves on. And I will also be wearing a smock, because this is a fabric hardener. It will completely turn your clothing rock solid if anything drops on it. This is really good for outdoor sculptures, if you want garden sculptures. This one is a work in progress. These two are completely weatherproof at this point. So they can sit outside. I have two that have been sitting outside for a while, and they're completely unharmed by the weather. Okay, Paverpol, like I said, it is a fabric hardener. Comes in lots of different colors. I love the bronze because it looks like you actually created a bronze sculpture. But it also comes in transparent, and which means that you can add color. I've added color to this one, which is, like I said, it's a work in progress. And I've added color to the blue, the water on the mermaid. What we're going to do is I'm going to start off with the bronze, and I'm going to simply use, because I'm going to start dressing her from the inside out. And I'm going to use these cotton. Cotton works much better for this, but you can also experiment with other materials. This is just, it's almost like a paper towel. So you can also substitute. These are called wrappers, but you can also substitute paper towels for this. It works just the same, especially if you want like a design in there. You can do that. I've already mixed some of the Paverpol, and this is the bronze one. I'm going to move those so that don't drip them out. And all you do is you take the material, you dip it in, and you really work it into the fabric. And this is really good having plastic tablecloths, because all you do is you pick up the plastic afterwards and you put it into the trash. So all I'm doing is working the bronze Paverpol into that wrapper. But like I said, you can also use paper towels, works the same way. Or even cutting up an old t-shirt and into strips and using that as well. I've done that with, I think the sitting lady was made partially from an old t-shirt and partially from this other material that I cut off an old doll that I had started to fall apart. So I rescued the fabric. So this is what it looks like. When it's dry, of course, it's going to look like bronze. And you just open it after it's completely, make sure there's no white spots, you don't want any white spots. And all you do is you simply start wrapping it onto the body, really working it onto the tape. And if you want, I'm going to put it completely onto the body because I'm going to put several layers on, but if you wanted it to be more of a flowing dress, you can leave it to be loose as well. And it does take a little bit of patience.
How long does it take for that to harden?
It'll harden in a few hours, but it will be completely weatherproof in about 2 weeks. So you want it to cure, just like plastic would cure. You want that to happen with this. Notice she's looking so much better just with one little layer. And I will just keep doing this. The next strip. And I'll show you also the material that I used to give her hair. Another substitute for the hair would be Spanish moss. So when you see Spanish moss hanging somewhere, I'll show you how to preserve it. Or you can also buy it from the Dollar Tree in a bag, clean for $1. Much easier than having to, you know, kill all of the stuff that's in the natural moss hanging outside. I mean, you'll come up with tricks of saving money. Finding the substitutes are the fun part, and finding things that work and what doesn't work. So you want to make sure there are no white spots. Again, open it. Feel free to ask questions while I'm working. I tend to multitask pretty well. And again, I'm just going to keep wrapping. You notice she has one leg up. I'm going to go underneath. Because again, I'm going to give her more fabric on the outside just to get this covered up for now. Just really wrap this.
How long has this technique been out? We've never, I've heard of it, I don't know about anybody else. I've never seen it.
You've never heard of it?
No.
Apparently it's been around for about 12 years, but I only found out about it 3 years ago.
How do you spell it?
Paverpol. It will stick to anything except plastic. You can work with polymer clay with it. You can also use regular clay, let it completely air dry, and preserve it with this. You don't have to put it into a kiln or anything. But it will not stick to plastic, which is why we use plastic to cover our tables. One more.
Where do you find it?
I actually order it from the Paverpol website, but you can find it at Dick Blick's online.